Welcome, folks. I am Jabby Kuwait, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
What's up?
We are watching the final episode from Season 1 of House of the Dragon. Thanks so much for joining us. If you're watching this on YouTube, you will see a cut-down version of our reaction because we can only show you a limited amount of picture-in-picture. But if you want to watch the whole thing with us, no cuts, no interruptions, head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/JabbyKuwait, or become a member of this channel so you can watch the whole thing with us, but you will need your own HBO Max subscription so you can open up each episode in an adjacent window to our reaction. We'll give you a 3, 2, 1 countdown sync, and it'll be like you're watching it with two of your favorite pals from the internet. Now, if you're watching this on Patreon or memberships already, thanks so much for supporting us here. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please vote this up. Let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. Here we go.
It can't be Lord of the Tides. Grandsire was the greatest sailor who ever lived. I get green sick before the ship even leaves the harbor. I don't want Driftmark. It should have passed on to Sir Vaymond.
We don't choose our destiny, Luke. It chooses us.
Grandsire, let you choose whether you be his heir.
Do you want to know the truth of it?
I was frightened. I was 4 and 10.
Same as you are now. But it was my duty. In time, I came to understand I had to earn my inheritance.
Fair.
Not like you. Not so perfect.
Wow. Interesting.
Princess Rhaenys has just arrived on Dragonback.
Ooh, shit's about to hit the fan. Oh, okay. So she came right here.
Viserys is dead.
I grieve this loss with you, Rhaenyra.
No time for grieving.
There is more. Aegon has been crowned as his successor. The High Septon crowned Aegon in the Dragon Pit. I witnessed it myself just before I fled on Meleys.
They crowned him before the masses.
That whore of a queen murdered my brother and stole his throne, and you could have done more for it.
A
Oh.
war is like to be fought over this treachery, to be sure, but that war is not mine to begin.
Ah.
I only rushed. The Greens are coming for you, Rhaenyra. And for your children.
Oh no.
Oh, nuts. Oh, wow.
Baby's coming.
That's not what that's supposed to look like, right? I thought water breaking is clear.
It's premature. It can happen if the mother's stressed.
I want patrols along the island's perimeter, looking for any small ships that might set ashore.
It will be done, my prince.
The architecture of that place is not great. You can hear everything across the castle.
I wonder what that is supposed to signify. Her, like,
Your lady mother needs to see you. Both of you.
dang.
Aegon has been crowned king.
What is to be done about it?
Nothing yet. Jacaerys! Whatever claim remains to me, you are now its heir. Naught is to be done but by my command.
Do you want to speak to the Maester, my prince?
Dude.
I'll fly to the Riverlands myself and affirm Lord Tully's support.
You will do no such thing. My mother has decreed no action be taken while she's abed.
Oh. Don't shoot the messenger.
Come with me. I'll show you the true meaning of loyalty.
It's a power struggle.
Do you acknowledge the true line of succession?
Yes.
What is he gonna do?
So I'm presenting you with a choice.
Doesn't seem like much of a choice.
What choice?
Swear anew your oath to Rhaenyra as your queen. Or, if you support the usurper, speak it now. And you will have a clean and honorable death. If you swear fealty now, only to later turn your cloaks, know that you will die, screaming.
Fair, I guess.
Get out! Princess, please!
Breathe. Oh my god! Is he dead? Is it a dead baby? Deformed baby.
Oh my gosh.
Oh shit. It's like double grief.
Man.
I mean no harm, brothers.
All right. Which one are you?
Oh, wow.
I swear to ward the Queen.
Alright, game on.
What a moment to have that moment.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's time to play. Wow. That is cool.
I wonder how many people watching this on their iPads went like that. Just
What is our standing?
We have 30 knights, 100 crossbowmen, and 300 men-at-arms.
We already have declarations from Celtigar and Staunton, Massey, Darkland, and Barrymont.
My Lady Mother was an Arryn. The Vale will not turn cloak against their own kin.
With Prince Daemon's acquiescence, I've already sent ravens to Lord Grover.
Isn't there bad blood there?
I'm going to treat with him myself.
Pray forgive my bluntness, Your Grace, but talk of men is moot. Your cause owns a power that has not been seen in this world since the days of old Valyria. Dragons.
The Greens have dragons.
They have
as
3
well.
adults, by my count. We have Cyrax, Caraxes, and Melis. Your sons have Virmax, Arax, and Tyraxes. Baela has Moondancer.
Daemon, none of our dragons have been to war.
Dragonstone has 13 to their 4. I also have a score of eggs incubating in the Dragon Mound.
Jesus.
Dang.
Your Grace, a ship has been sighted offshore.
Alert the watchtowers, sight the skies.
Daemon.
Yeah,
this
is he taking charge a little bit too much?
I think what he's doing is great, honestly. I wonder how that's going to play out long term.
I feel like there's going to be
She just seems
there.
she just seems hesitant. Well, he's like, okay, this is what we got to do. This is what we got to do. and he
Yeah,
just
I mean,
makes the
he's got
decisions.
experience, which she lacks. Oh, hello there.
I come at the behest of the Dowager Queen Alicent.
You should piss off.
Where is the princess?
It's Queen, bitch.
This is very familiar.
Yeah, that's right. Bow down.
Very poetic.
Princess Rhaenyra.
I'm Queen Rhaenyra now.
Hell yeah.
Acknowledge Aegon as king and swear obeisance before the Iron Throne. In exchange, His Grace will confirm your possession of Dragonstone. It will pass to your true-born son Jacaerys upon your death. Your sons, by Prince Daemon, will also be given places of high honor at court.
I would rather feed my sons to the dragons than have them carry shields and cups for your drunken usurper of a king.
Wow.
And then there is Stark, Tully, Baratheon, houses that have also received and are at present considering generous terms.
Oh, they move fast.
Stark, Tully, and Baratheon all swore to me.
Stale oaths will not put you on the Iron Throne, Princess.
You are no more hand than Aegon is king. Fucking traitor.
Oh. Oh, the brothers.
Queen Alicent has not forgotten the love you once had for each other.
Oh.
No blood need be spilled. The realm can carry on in peace. Queen Alicent eagerly awaits your answer.
She can have her answer now, stuffed in her father's mouth along with his withered cock. Let's end this mummer's farce.
No. King's Landing will have my answer on the morrow.
What is your game,
It's
Rhaenyra?
quite possible that Daemon and Rhaenyra really balance each other out, because she's like maintaining that level head.
Right.
And he's like strategically execute.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna kill everyone.
Yeah.
It's no easy thing for a man to be a dragon slayer, but dragons can kill dragons, and have.
Viserys spoke often of the Valyrian histories. I know them well. When dragons flew to war, everything burned. I do not wish to rule over a kingdom of ash and bone. As queen, what is my true duty to the realm? Ensuring peace and unity, or that I sit the Iron Throne no matter the cost. My father's dead, and he chose me as his successor to defend the realm, not cast it headlong into war.
The enemy have declared war. What are you going to do about it?
Clear the room.
Oh.
Yeah, he's out of line there. That's out of pocket. You just can't be just yelling at her like that in front of everybody. That's not a good look. You're not unified.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is she smiling?
I don't
Why
know.
is she enjoying this?
I don't know.
She could have ended all this.
You know, my oath reaches beyond our personal ambitions. A song of ice and fire.
Does he know about it? He doesn't know.
What? The Conqueror's dream. Viserys shared it with me when he named me heir.
What the fuck?
Dude.
Dreams didn't make us kings. Dragons did.
There's no hitting the undo button on that moment. Oh my
Nope.
goodness. Oh. We haven't seen him in a minute.
I thought he was doing better.
You abandoned me.
When I most needed you, Baylor and Rhaena needed you, and you abandoned us for more adventure at sea.
I had no other place to turn. I'd lost everything.
We lost Corlys.
Our pursuit of the Iron Throne is at an end.
So what? What are you gonna do? What do you decide?
For no one.
Okay.
Jace, Luke, and Joff are claimants to the throne. Those boys will not be safe so long as Aegon is king.
You're in it now.
Rhaenyra was complicit in our son's death. That girl destroys everything she touches.
That girl is holding the realm together at present. Every man standing around the painted table urges her to plunge the realm into war. Rhaenyra is the only one who's demonstrated restraint.
Interesting. Well, we got insight into her, like...
Yeah.
The Lord of the Tides! Lord Corlys Velaryon!
This will be fun.
Both Arryn and Baratheon share blood with my house, but all of them swore oaths to me.
As did House Hightower, if I remember.
As did you, Lord Corlys.
You have the full support of our fleet and house.
Okay.
Cool.
Your Grace.
All right.
We must first secure the support of Winterfell, the Eyrie, and Storm's End.
I'll prepare the ravens, Your Grace.
We should bear those messages. Dragons can fly faster than ravens, and then more convincing.
I don't know, man.
I gotta flex those muscles. They're men now.
Grown-ups.
We must remind these lords of the oaths they swore, and the cost of breaking them.
Do you think sending the kids is a good idea, though? I'm scared for the youngest one.
If you take this errand, you go as messengers, not as warriors. Storm's End is a short flight from here. You have Baratheon blood from your grandmother, Rhaenys. Lord Boros is an eternally proud man. You'll be honored to host a prince of the realm.
I would be scared to send them, but I guess it's the right thing to do. A show of power. What do we got? Dragons?
Whoa.
Whoa! Things got toasty. Oh my god, you're a scary looking beast. Oh. Are we bonding? Ooh.
How are none of them scared?
I'm scared. I'm scared for this little boy.
I know, but how are none of those soldiers scared about a dragon showing up? Oh.
Oh, shit.
Prince Viserys Velaryon.
Oh,
shit.
God damn it.
Oh, my.
I thought it was him.
What's your mother's message? Where's the bloody maester?
Oh, he can't read?
I was about to ask you that. Oh, boy.
Uh-oh. Oh, God, I don't want him to die.
So you come with empty hands. Go home, pup.
I shall take your answer to the Queen, my lord.
God, don't turn your back. Don't turn your back. Don't turn your back.
Wait, my lord Strong.
Oh, my God. Screw you. I hate you.
I came as a messenger, not a warrior.
Fight would be little challenge.
Okay, calm. Stay calm.
No. I want you to put out your eye.
Oh.
It's payment for mine.
What will you do?
No.
Then you are craven as well as a traitor.
Not here. Give me your eye, or I will take it, boss. Not in my hall. The boy came as an envoy. I'll not have blood shed beneath my roof.
This guy's cray-cray.
He's scary.
Yeah. Get on your dragon. Get going. Now. Now. Now, Luke. Just freaking go! Go! You are not safe. Oh, God. Oh, shit. I don't know, man. He's too sweet to live. In front of you? I don't know. It's around. It's somewhere. Visibility is very poor.
Oh!
Oh, shit! It's so freaking big! It's so big! Oh, no. You should not have sent him. Oh, my God.
Well, him being smaller, he's got
he
more
might have
maneuverability.
an advantage because the other one's so big, but like it's huge. I don't know how experienced he is with flying. Can you, go somewhere where your size has an advantage? There we go. Can you fly faster? Because you're small. Look ahead. Look ahead.
Oh, he's above him.
Okay, I don't know. Hide. Get in some clouds.
Oh, he's gonna sneak up.
Oh shit! No, it's not obeying. That's not good. The dragon started a fight. Oh, the dragon's gone rogue. Don't pass out because of altitude. Go. Go fly. Fly home! Ah! No! No! Oh, shit. Did it munch him? You started the war. Are you pissed now?
Yep.
Ooh.
We didn't see a body.
We didn't see a body, but he fell from a great, great height. I'm thinking he probably didn't survive, but you're right. By movie rules, we did not see a body.
Maybe they did this in such a way because it would just be too much for the audience to deal with. You already saw a stillborn child.
Yeah.
And then you just can't deal with seeing a little kid get killed. I mean, obviously, this is like very Korean cinema. It's like you don't touch kids.
No, I mean, it's also true to Game of Thrones, right? Because that was one of the things that I found so shocking about the series in the first season, because characters that you like are not necessarily safe. That was true here. I had a bad feeling about sending Lucerys. Like, he's just so young. Jace, I was like, okay, fine, you're older, and I got the sense that he could perhaps handle himself, but Lucerys still felt like a kid, and he was being sent to do a grown-up job, which I guess, that they're on the brink of war and stuff, it would make sense to send him. He's a young prince and all, but I just had the worst feeling about it.
I think that there's this like naive part of me that's hoping he like clung on to the big dragon and is still alive somehow, even though all signs indicate that he isn't alive, and the big mouth just chomped and just completely cut the other little dragon in half into bits and pieces. For the news to make its way back to Rhaenyra that her son is dead, I would imagine that is the case indeed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think so. It's unfortunate that it had to happen that way, but it almost feels fated in a way. It was completely out of their hands, and it's almost like, this is destiny.
Yeah.
Now you fight. Rhaenyra was being very restrained, and I think that's why Rhaenys decided to side with her. She is very much a good queen. She would be a good queen. She's all about keeping stability in the kingdom, and she doesn't want to go to war, which I found was interesting. This whole thing about the difference between all of the men in court versus the one lady who's the leader, and I don't know if that's a conversation to be had about the different ruling styles of men and women. Rhaenys made it a point to point out that all of the men in court were urging her to go to war, and Rhaenyra was the only one who was kind of staying calm, wanting to keep peace. And I wonder if maybe Rhaenys saw something in Rhaenyra that was similar to maybe how she might have ruled had she been queen.
Earlier, Rhaenys had a conversation with Corlys where he kept going on about how she deserved to be queen, and she's like, look, I've abandoned that. You're doing this for you at this point, because that's not actually my plight anymore. What that says to me is that she is actually one who tries to think things through logically.
Yeah.
And tries to see ahead beyond what the consequences of each action might entail. I think that you're right, at least to the degree that she is identifying that Rhaenyra is trying to think ahead multiple steps, like chess. Like, you can't just think about the next move, you have to think about the next 5 moves and what that all means. Rhaenyra trying to make sure she has allies before proceeding actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw what happened when her young boy went to, make sure that this king, or that this person,
Varys Baratheon.
Yeah, Baratheon still kept his alliance to her, and his alliance changed. And it's like, well, you thought you had that person. That's a blind spot. you know?
Yeah, you can't be certain because everyone swore their fealty to her when she was announced as the heir. But as soon as Aegon became king, then everybody just flip-flopped and were like, okay, we're changing now. Well, not everybody. Like, they still have some allies. I don't know if I'm wrong in thinking this, but they seemed to think that they had allies in the Vale. But I thought that Daemon's ex-wife, or rather the wife that he murdered, was from there. I thought that she was an Arryn or she was from the Vale or something. So I'm like, why would they have any love for Daemon and the Targaryens if they called upon them to fight for them? But I might be wrong because they seemed really confident that they could get them. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Really? Is that gonna work out for you? I'm not sure. I guess we'll see.
It was interesting how when Lucerys showed up, there was this expectation that they were to provide something in order to establish the already declared alliance that they had made, the fealty that he had made to her. And it's like, what are you bringing me? Not a goddamn thing. So why would I like honor this? Which is like the strangest thing. That's a great like sort of barometer or a thing to consider with each person who swore an oath.
Well, yeah, for people like the Starks, because they are a very honorable family, I think that since the Starks swore to Rhaenyra, I think that they would stay true to their word. But it's everyone else, like other families, who kind of are like Boris Baratheon, where they're like, okay, well, which side is more beneficial to me? They're not the types of people that would just stay true to the promise that they made. I spent a lot of time in the beginning thinking about the reason why they started with Rhaenyra losing her pregnancy, and I was wondering what the significance of that was, what the symbolism was, and I was racking my brain about it for quite a while as we were watching the show, and I thought that maybe it was to symbolize her having to kill a certain part of herself, like the feminine part of herself, the mothering side of herself, and that sacrifices would have to be made, and that she was losing something in order to gain becoming a queen, or that she had to lose something in order to become a queen. I'm still not sure if that's the right interpretation, but I feel like it's significant because why would they have that? It has to symbolize something.
It could be convenience for the story.
Just to not have her be like super pregnant while she's fighting a war. I mean, that works.
Yeah,
too.
or not having to mother a child while she's fighting a war. I mean, that to me is actually interesting as a device. You know, where she's fighting a war in one hand and breastfeeding in the other. I mean, that to me is actually interesting.
Sure.
But, you know, perhaps it's this thing that is just going to complicate matters. And it benefits in two ways because it gets that out of the way, you know, so you don't have to deal with that in terms of CGI or story.
Sure.
And it also allows us to feel empathy for Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, in a way, she's almost closer to Rhaenys now because they both lost 2 children.
I think it also tells us her strength, you know, to be able to lose these 2 kids and keep going forward.
Absolutely, because she's always been super tough. Like, she had that other moment in one of the previous episodes where she just gave birth and then Alicent called her or wanted to see the baby or whatever, and she literally just like put herself together after having labored for God knows how long, and like dragged herself up that long walk up to see the queen. Like, she is a very formidable woman and very, very strong. She's taking a lot of hard knocks, like to find out that your father died, but not only that, like there's not even any time to grieve. Her relative comes to her and says, I come bearing some sad news. Your father's died. I grieve with you. But also, there's this other thing. Like, there's no time for any emotions. Whatever she has, she kind of has to put away in a little box and save to process later.
That's what it is to be a leader, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you sort of have to just take those punches and keep moving forward. Those hits, those L's, and you just got to keep proceeding forward. I mean, you're right, because it's all happening at once. She found out her father died. She's in the middle of a potential war, and she lost her child all at the same time.
Yeah.
And, like, normally these things are in 3s, but in this episode it was a 4th. 5, in fact, because her husband choked her.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me is... I don't know how... if that kind of thing was just cool back then, but to me that's like, yo, you were holding on. It wasn't like, just kidding. It was like he was holding her throat for a good period of time.
Yeah. Not only that, he was doing that to his queen.
Yeah.
That's an act of treason in itself.
Well, she's not gonna.
Well, she's not. Yeah,
she's not gonna have him beheaded or anything like that. But still, I mean, that just shows you that he's still that person underneath it all. No matter like what we feel and whatever, and how sweet and whatever, he's still that guy. He's still an asshole at the end of the day. I'm like, well, damn, dude, he's scared. That's why he did that. Like, okay, so you got to kind of wrap your mind around that. Like, why would he do that? Because he's angry and scared. Because he's like, yo, like, all this is happening. You need to be decisive.
Yeah.
You have to make these moves. You cannot be queen and hesitate and pussyfoot. Like, you got to make these moves. And, like, you're trying to throw in my face this thing that my weak brother told you. Like, that's what you're trying to throw in my face.
And, like, talk about dreams and stuff that I have no belief in whatsoever.
Right.
But that's the thing. It's like, it's a secret that is only passed down from ruler to ruler. So she was surprised that her uncle didn't know. But that's the problem. It's like, now the chain of succession has been broken. So this promise, this ulterior mission is now being lost because Aegon is king and he has no clue that they have another task to uphold altogether.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
I also thought it was interesting how they showed how different characters grieved. You kind of felt like Rhaenyra was all alone when her little baby died prematurely, right? Because they were not together. He was too busy choosing to plot war rather than to be with his wife, who's in a difficult situation, trying to have a baby. That's not really crazy because when his other wife was giving birth, he was nowhere to be found. He just kind of abandoned her. But you could see how affected he was by the grief of losing this child. Like, I liked that scene at the beach where he was kind of like on his knees, and you could see how that affected him. And then also how grief affected Corlys in a similar situation. His wife really needed him, and she's like, where were you when I needed you? You just left. And it's like, people deal with grief in different ways. Like, some people are present with it, and some people just need to like leave the room, just vacate.
Yeah, that's actually a very astute observation. I didn't even think about that. The show was actually diving into that very heavily.
Yeah.
I mean, in this particular episode at the very least. You know, some people just need to escape for a moment, or they just block it out and they focus on another task at hand because they're just trying to stay level-headed. It's easier to go and focus on another task than deal with what's going on in here. But ultimately, it will get you. At some point, it will get you. And the thing is, while he was ignoring his wife who was in labor, suffering, like, it still got to him. What we saw at the very end of the episode was that it bothered him that she lost her son. Like, the way he took her aside and everything like that. Like, it might not affect him the same way it affects her, but it still affects him. He was still protective of that boy.
I thought it was a really good choice as well to have her back to the camera and kind of have them have this little private moment where he takes her hand and he leads her away and he gives her the news. And you can see her like bent over with grief and sorrow and like her shoulders shaking. But you know that when she turns around, it's not the face of pure sadness. It's the face of like,
war.
Now we're having a war.
Rage.
Rightly so. Well, what did her son do apart from be a messenger and try and run away?
It was also the first instance that we've seen, what's his name, scared.
Aemond?
Aemond. That was the first time we saw him scared.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, and because he knew the gravity of the situation, because until then they were just kind of skirting around the whole issue.
Up until that moment, he was just trying to antagonize the boy. That's all. He just wanted to scare him. He was just trying to fuck with him.
Yeah.
By Lucerys, spitting fire, he basically sealed his own fate, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't even his fault, though. You heard him, or I heard him go, Arrax, no, you have to listen to me. And they made it a point to show him talking to the dragon, saying, like, you must obey me, you must do as I say. And the dragon was like, no, don't think so. You can't control me. It was out of their hands. Their dragons were just too willful, and they're just kids.
I'm slightly surprised that Lucerys wasn't prepped at all, like, yo, if you see this, leave.
GTFO.
Yeah, like, I'm surprised that he wasn't given any information of that, like, of that nature. It's like, wouldn't you anticipate? Because if the queen is, like, smart and anticipating, in a chess-like manner, and she's trying to predict all the following moves in advance, wouldn't you anticipate that your enemy would try to make alliances with people you thought you were aligned with first?
Well, I think they were overconfident. Like Daemon was very confident because he said, oh, you know, the High Towers only have 4 dragons. Yes, they have 4, but one of the dragons is like the oldest and biggest dragon. How do you balance that out? So I guess that overconfidence was to their detriment because he wasn't trained. He wasn't the right person to send for that job. He just wanted to do his job properly, right? Because he feels like he's not good enough. He's like, I can't be.
He's been living with that his whole life.
Exactly, and he feels like he can't be the Lord of Driftmark because he can't even handle being at sea. That's why they showed us that scene in the beginning as well, where he was like, "Oh, like I'm not perfect like you, Mom," but like I think we all knew that it was going to happen, and then they were really good at ratcheting up the tension in the show because as soon as he left, I don't know about you, but I was just feeling very, very nervous.
Oh, I mean,
I was stressed.
I
was very stressed.
I didn't think he was going to get killed. I thought that somehow he was going to find a way. I mean,
I thought I knew he was going to die.
The thing about it is, I mean, they kept foreshadowing that he was going to die, but I'm like, well, maybe that's just a misdirect, and he's going to find a way out, and it's going to be like he somehow impossibly he gets out unscathed. The thing is, he found his way into those rocks, and I'm like, why did you even leave that?
Yeah,
you were safe there. The dragon can't get in. Why did you even?
Yeah, but then how long can you hide for?
As long as you need, I guess.
No food, no water.
I guess that's not exciting. And the more exciting thing is if he tries to get away and attacks and causes more mayhem. I suppose that's more interesting and more exciting as a story direction. But it just like as a character, I'm like I think about what any one of us would have done, and I think that hiding is the first thing that we would try to do.
Yeah.
He's a smaller dragon, and they found this like way, and I think I would hide. I wouldn't go anywhere. I'd be like, okay, what next? I'd sit and think for a second.
Yeah.
Like, what do I do now?
And that's the problem. You're sending a child to do a grown-up job.
But even as a kid, I think you hide.
Maybe,
I don't know.
But like, what do you do? Yeah, as a child, as a kid who's 14 years old and scared, you might not make the best choices.
I mean, I understand the decision to send him and the symbolism of that, like what it's supposed to look like, but it just doesn't seem like he was given a proper Michael Corleone preparation of the gun is behind the toilet. Like there's no prep in that. It's like just go.
Yeah.
Like what about a backup in case something goes wrong? Like what is your what is your strategy for when things fail? What's your fail safe?
Yeah.
And he wasn't given one. I mean that was just stupid.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit perplexed by that because I just think about myself and I don't even have any kids. I mean, I had the experience of having a child, a past relationship thing. And I think about my behavior with a kid, and I do a lot of prep. Like, okay, this is what you're doing. If this happens, this is what you do. And there's a lot of that. He was given none of that.
She tried. She tried.
She said, be a messenger. That's it. Don't fight.
Yeah, be a messenger. But she also told him that Boris Baratheon was a proud man and that he would be proud to host him. She was trying to give him information, but like she just didn't see danger when she should have. And that's her mistake.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah. That is crazy.
Even just standard, like as a parent, I thought I would think your default is outside is danger. That's your default. Like,
yeah. I mean, that was my thinking as well. But then again, he's 14 years old, and at the same age, Rhaenyra was being announced as the heir to the throne.
Yeah.
And so, like, there is a certain level of maturity in that world that you're supposed to have at the age of 14.
No, that's
so
true. That's fair.
I get it, but also I'm like, why? He was just a kid.
You know what? You're right. That's fair. I mean, they were trying to marry off Cornwall. I keep wanting to call him Cornwallis. Corlys's daughter.
Yeah.
He's trying to marry her off before she was even before she had her first blood.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, you're right. When you're looking at it through the lens through the modern day lens, it's hard to process that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all fantasy, but still, it feels stupid through a modern lens. But I guess you're right. Like looking at it from the perspective of, well, this is how things happen in medieval era. Then yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's sad nonetheless. It's exactly what needed to happen to move the plot forward because otherwise Rhaenyra would just keep on stalling. And so now this throws it into fifth gear. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed hanging out with us. Do subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell icon, please, all notifications, and vote this up. I'm Jabby Koei. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.